Hi there. We have prepared a podcast from social farming experts in each of our partner countries of the SoEngage Plus project. Those countries are Ireland, Germany, the UK, Spain, Poland and Romania. I will give you a brief summary of the podcasts, starting with the podcast from Ireland, from Leitrim Development Company and the Social Farming Ireland programme. In the podcast, we hear from the National Coordinator of the Social Farming Ireland programme, Helen Doherty, and the Policy Research Officer, Dr. Aisling Moroney, who are both based in Leitrim Development Company. We hear about the background and the development towards what is now the main national programme for social farming in Ireland. Social Farming Ireland is the national office which is funded by the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine. It is based in Drumshanbo, County Leitrim, and is led by Leitrim Development Company. It supports the development of a national social farming network in collaboration with other local development companies, namely West Limerick Resources, Waterford Leader Partnership and South West Mayo Development Company, where regional social farming development officers are based in regional hubs. Social farming offers people who are socially, physically, mentally or intellectually disadvantaged the opportunity to spend time on family farms in a healthy, supportive and inclusive environment. A person may choose to spend a fixed amount of time on a farm, participating in activities they may be interested in, such as gardening, animal care, indoor activities, baking bread, making jam, etc. Social farming activity takes place in a safe and supportive environment, taking into account an individual's abilities, desires and interests. Focus remains on encouraging participants to socialise, gain confidence and build relationships. The farm is not a specialised treatment farm, rather it remains a typical working farm where people in need of support can benefit from relationship building through farm activities in a non-clinical environment. While those participating in social farming activities may derive therapeutic benefit from it, this is not the main purpose or aim, and the farmers are not playing the role of therapists. Social farming supports people in living in ordinary lives, interacting with their community and environment and developing their potential. As well as chatting about their work supporting the farm network and research and policy, Helen and Aisling discuss the benefits both for participants and farmers of social farming. If you would like to hear more about Social Farming Ireland, their website is socialfarmingireland.ie and their contact number is 071 9641 772, and they look forward to hearing from you. In our German podcast, we hear from our partners in Germany, 𝓲𝓸𝓔. We hear from Mrs. Victoria Loeffner-Muir, was interviewed by Johannes Dreher about her views, impressions and personal and professional experiences on various topics related to social farming and our SoEngage Plus project. Firstly, the concept of social agriculture and how this concept is perceived in Germany and what the initial ways of offering social farming were without naming it. Victoria mentioned not only the great potential of social farming, but at the same time the bureaucratic limitations around that, as well as the challenging economic questions for the farmer and his business. The niche of social farming lacks political recognition and therefore as well political support. There are existing successful concepts implemented where a win-win situation for all stakeholders is possible and achieved: the participants, the farmer, the social service provider, the regional sustainable development. Victoria mentioned a book titled Social Farming, Soil Beyond Your Feet. The title describes very well the effects of getting in touch with nature, soil, plants, animals and caring for them. This care delivers very good effects for the participants themselves. They get grounded, responsible, structured and more self-confident. For farmers interested in the idea of social farming, willing to implement a concept, it is very important that the whole family supports the implementation and that a real SWOT analysis is done as well as business planning. Even if there are a lot of good examples of social farming today in Germany, compared to other countries like Ireland or Denmark, Germany needs to catch up a bit. From economic perspective and the perspective of an entrepreneur, it is highly important to get in exchange how to offer successful win-win social farming over the generations. The podcast concluded with an appreciation of the value added of the various actors in social farming, including hovhund and our SoEngage Plus project and its objective of structuring a network united around the value of social agriculture. Another partner in the SoEngage project was 𝓲𝓸𝓔, based in the UK. The UK podcast interviews Dr. Aibín Walsh, Head of Social Farming and Innovation from 𝓲𝓸𝓔, based in Northern Ireland. Social farming began in Northern Ireland in 2012 through a cross-border project with the Republic of Ireland, and from 2015, the Department of Agriculture, Environment and Rural Affairs in Northern Ireland funded a social farming support service managed by 𝓲𝓸𝓔. Social farming in Northern Ireland is defined as an innovative use of agriculture to promote therapy, rehabilitation, social inclusion, education and social services in rural areas. There are currently 15 active social farms in Northern Ireland, with more in development. The Social Farming Support Service provides farmers with training and preparation for delivery, including safeguarding, first aid, police checks and support in getting and managing referrals. To date, the main service user group has been learning disability and mental health recovery, with work in smaller numbers with brain injury, refugees and asylum seekers, and early onset dementia. The hope for the future is to expand into more service user groups and to make social farming an opportunity for anyone who is interested. The farms and farmers delivering social farming are all unique and offer their land, experience, and expertise in different ways. All of the farms are working family farms. The farmers want to use their farm for a social good and in return receive a payment for their time and resources, which helps towards sustaining the farm. Social farming is based on the core values being person-centred, a place for all, and a safe environment. These values are upheld by each farm and how they deliver social farming. The values of and quality of service delivered by farmers are demonstrated and recognised through the social farming standards awarded by 𝓲𝓸𝓔. If anyone is interested in delivering social farming, they can complete an expression of interest form on the 𝓲𝓸𝓔 website or contact the Social Farming Support Service directly. The hope for the future of social farming is to increase the number of farms delivering and giving all the individuals who could benefit from the engagement the opportunity to do so. Also, to have social farming widely recognised and supported more broadly. Our Spanish partners, Growth Co-op, also produced a podcast. In this podcast, social farming expert Mr. Jose Salvador gives us his impressions and point of view on different topics related to social farming and our SoEngage Plus project. In this way, we address the following points. Firstly, that we dealt with the concept of social agriculture and how this concept is understood in Andalusia and in Spain. We have noticed that it is a very new concept in Spain, and we understand intuitively that social agriculture is that which encompasses agriculture, livestock and forestry activities, with the priority of establishing social relations that contribute to the health of the communities involved. When we talk about health, we are talking about a broad term. Social health means any activity that brings benefits to a society in a balanced and sustainable way. Secondly, we talked about new practices and the future horizon of social agriculture. New initiatives include citizen support projects for farmers through conscious consumption or land conservation initiatives, those in which society commits itself at different levels to the preservation of the landscape and biodiversity beyond the production of food. We are talking about a wide range of conservation activities and the promotion of people's relationship with nature, such as collective cleaning of the environment or the maintenance and signposting of trails. Thirdly, we have talked about the values promoted by social agriculture, considering the participation of citizens in an agricultural environment as an objective and the health and sociability of people and their contribution to the maintenance of this environment as the ultimate goal. Fourthly, we have discussed the sources of social farming, bearing in mind that the sources of social agriculture from a genetic point of view would be none other than society's need to find tools that facilitate sustainability and balance within the agricultural environment and health, both physical and mental, and ultimately the socialization of the individual. Fifthly and lastly, we talked about the added value of our SoEngage Plus project and its objective of structuring a network united around the value of social agriculture. Poland podcast summary by our partners ＲriL𝖺yiI. 3 social farmers were invited to the podcasts made in Poland. Those were Elizabeta Augustina Iowakabeluska and Jadwiga Zaulinska, who lead the social farms for seniors and people with disabilities in the northern part of Poland. The ladies highlighted the importance and great need for social farming in Poland. Loneliness, lack of perspectives, and monotony of everyday life is a common problem for seniors and disabled people. Joint activities on a farm give them a reason to get out of bed every day. They are happy to spend time together, doing creative things and sharing their thoughts. Social farmers tell their story of their farms and describe what the ordinary day on a farm looks like. They divide the schedule between work and other activities. They prepare meals together, do gardening, walking, visiting forests and lakes. They also learn how to do preserves from fruits, bouquets of flowers, and how to dry herbs. Of course, the work with people takes a lot of energy, but the happiness and development of the people who come to the farm is the best prize for the farmers. The problem is sometimes the lack of funds. Seniors and people with disabilities cannot afford to pay for the activities on the farm. The ladies are sure that it is not difficult to start social farming. When they were starting, they were afraid, but they had the opportunity to see social farms in Europe and they got inspired. And now they eagerly share their experience and encourage everybody to consider starting a social farm, as they see a great need for such kind of social support. We also have a podcast from our partner CPIP in Romania. The podcast in Romania had 𝖲𝗈δι𝗂𝖺ki𝗂 as a guest, who is a farmer himself and also a deputy in the county council, responsible for the agriculture sector in Káras-Severin County. 𝖲𝖾 pointed out that his region has a long tradition in agriculture and you can find many family-owned farms, the area being not heavily industrialized. Although having a long tradition in farming, people are not so familiar with the concept of social farming yet. 𝖲𝖾 suggested that the transition to social farming is not difficult to make because farmers are very hospitable and they usually receive a lot of unexpected tourists because of the various hiking and trekking routes that pass near their farms. People only need instructions and examples of good practice to motivate them to see the benefits of social farming. With the area also being an important touristic hub of the country, 𝖲Լ thinks that social farming goes hand in hand with tourism, and both the farmers and businesses operating in the tourism could massively benefit from this relationship. Also, it would be of great help for people with disabilities or with other difficulties to find a welcoming place to work and spend time. 𝖲Л sees a bright future for social farming in his area, the local government offering total support for farmers in the upcoming years, both by providing information and lines of financing.